Today I'm going to share with you, if you haven't figured it out already, how to get around doing math when you're doing pattern making. If there are any of you out there who have decided just never do pattern making because they're nervous about fractions, well, I hate it too. I have never been able to really do good math without screwing up or just going completely blank in my brain and not know what's going on. So I'm going to show you 3 methods that you can do to get around doing complicated math. Now, patterning, it doesn't really have complicated math, but just to keep everything going and not have second guesses of like, crap, did I do this right? Because I've been there, still struggle with math to this day. I can do basic math, I just can't. Fractions really terrify me, especially if I'm multiplying or dividing them. Does not compute in my brain. Instead, I really want you guys to also be able to get around it and not let it limit you to what you can and can't do, especially when it comes to creating and patterning garments and that kind of stuff, and even doing alterations on garments, because you're going to need math to do that as well. But this one is focused on just getting around math and how to avoid it like the plague when you can, and how to make it a little easier if you can't. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it, and to 3 ways to not have to do math, or at least as little as possible. So the other 2 are just 2 additional ways to do measuring without really thinking and without even counting. So I'll do the first one, which is a very common one if you are a hater of math, makes you nervous and like anxious and all of everything. So what I commonly do if I, what I commonly do is if I'm measuring something, say it be like my center front length, and then I need to divide it into half to be very easy, or even down to a quarter. One way is to measure it, and this is 15, they're about 15 inches and 1/8. So I'm going to do 15 first. So whatever half of 15 is, this is where, like, this is simple math. So I believe it's 7.5 to get to 15, because 7 and 7 is 14, plus, half an inch twice is that other inch. Can you tell I'm really bad at math? Yes. As I crack up at myself. Okay, so yeah, so 15 inches. It's gonna be 7.5 will be your halfway point. Then you have that 1/8 of an inch. So then you just tack on a 16th. So then in grand total, you would have, this is what I do. Kid you not. I will sit here and go 1, 2, 3. That is how bad at math I am. So if you're right there with me, congratulations. We can all be on team no math for me, please. So 7.5 plus a 16th is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 16ths. So yes, that is how I do math, because that's just who I am. But no shame here. I am not a mathematician, nor will I ever try to be. Now, okay, the other way to do it, 2 other ways really, is to take your measuring tape. This one doesn't require counting out little squares, okay? This one requires folding. So if I wanted to find half, I would literally point here. Whatever here is, of course, 15 and 1/8. So you put your thumbnail on 15 and 1/8, and you literally just put it here. And then you fold it, you crease it, and then what do you have? You get the exact same measurement. So if you really don't want to count anything, you can do this, and then you can record that measurement however you need to. You can literally just lay it back down and then make the mark of where your halfway point is. And lastly, this method it was taught to me by somebody that I met most recently, and she too is not the best at math, and I had never thought about this before, and it really just depends on how much you really want to do and how big your pattern pieces are, and you know exactly what you're doing. So it's not going to work in every situation, but if I'm doing the same thing and I want to find my halfway point on my center front, then I would take this point, and let me make sure this is in frame. I would take this point and this point, your top and bottom, and then you can fold it in half. I know it probably seems so like, are you kidding me? But no, I am not kidding you. So if you're one of those people who wants to find their halfway point on something, then you can, and I bet you it measures the same thing. So we can kind of check on that by going, yes, it does. It measures the exact same thing. This is the world's shortest video. I can count out all the squares. I can do the folding method with a tape measure, or I can fold the paper and find 1/3, 1/4, half, 1/8 if I really wanted to, instead of sitting there and trying to divide my fractions or multiply my fractions, or I mean, it's fairly simple to do add and subtracting fractions, but for the slightly more complicated stuff, this is an easy way to go. So that's pretty much the 3 ways to get around measuring and having to multiply or divide your fractions. This is just, you know, I'm putting this out there to help anyone who has always dreamed of, you know, making their own clothes but doesn't know how to do math to the extent of, you know, oh, think about it and it's in your head and you've got it. I've never ever been able to do that in my life, and I don't foresee it happening anytime soon, to be very honest. I would have to train every day, and I got other things to do. So I hope that these 3 methods are very helpful for any of you out there looking for a way around doing fractions and you know, and multiplying or dividing them. So if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to keep hearing more from me and seeing other videos. And if you happen to have other ways to get around doing math when involving sewing and patterning, please leave it down in the comments. I'd love to know if there's more ways to do it, and if you were impressed by these 3 methods, let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comment section. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next video. Okay. Okay. I'm shrinking. Gosh. Alright, measuring tape. I've got 3 of them and can never find them. Got your ruler. Alright, that's enough of that.